Hello, my friends. My name is Vjaceslav Tissen, and I like to introduce my new update for Simply Micromesh version 2.0 for Blender 3.5 and higher. So we have a big major update here, which improves some cool features, which is showing some new workflow here. And it's all now moved from the old particle system, what we have before, to the geometry nodes, which is known by Blender 3.2, I think it was, or 0 and higher. It was implemented intern in Blender, and this is what we used here to improve our add-on and give you a better performance and better workflow here. So let's start. We see this very nice model here for gaming or cinema or other rendering stuff we can use it for. It was created by Daniel Meyer, who's a very talented artist in this way. He works very well, have clean understanding of modeling and all that stuff here. So thank you for that, and thank you for using this nice mesh, which we now show the new features on from Micromesh. So let's start. What have we here? We want select our needed part like this. So if you see the offset here, this is the pointing of the composite node, which we have here turned on. We can use always or camera, but for now we can for selecting, you see the little offset, which is not that bad for me. So you understand why we have this offset in the overlays. So we select, like for example, this sweatshirt, go to our Simply Micromesh UI panel and just hit this button, Add Micromesh. That's it. Now we have a new UI. We can see the visibility for overlays, for source mesh, and for the micromesh. I think you will see directly the nice result here. So to change the micromesh, we can go here in the user interface and turn on different sections. For now, I will show you first the statistics we have here, and we can see how many instances was created here, and we get a warning also. So we need to understand why this warning is here. The warning is here because of our sweatshirt is using some modifiers. We have the subdivision and the mirror modifier, and afterwards it creates the geometry nodes for Simply Micromesh, which is not that good because of performance, could go down and all that stuff. But you see, it's working very well. We need to understand what we want. So in this case, we have a subdivision here. If we turn off, we get a low res, but more performance. With this, we see some bit of lagging directly. And here we can decide for ourselves. I recommend to use it in first place. So you see here we have nothing, but we can see what will create after this. And we have the correct numbers now. It's like 5,000. But if we go in the way we apply this first, like we have the mirror modifier and we want to apply it, we should get a different result here. So now we select our mesh, go to Micromesh, and for this workflow, I do not like the overlays. I just turn them off here and just work here. You see here we have the Micromesh. We can use collections if we want. Now it's turned on, now it's off. So we want to use one mesh. In this case, 45. It's the Micromesh 45. Somewhere here you can find it. 45, it will be like this mesh. And we can play directly here with scaling to adjust it to our needs, like this. You will see some intersection here. This is not that good, but we can fix it very easy. So, in first, I want to show you some other stuff. We have these collections, we don't use it in this example. Just one mesh, which will be the micro mesh for the full sweatshirt. We can activate the shade smooth, but we don't need the flat shading here. We just need the smooth shading. It looks better. We can select the distribution to set random and play with the density. So like if we like this, we have a different the density for other stuff, not for this example. I do not recommend it. And we can select out the distribution like from corners, from vertices, and from edges. And now we have here a very nice, interesting distribution point here, which I like to use it not on faces, but on edges. So we have a nice result here. In some parts it will be not that perfect, but it's like we know before. You see here, we can play with the scaling again if we want, but it's not every time the solution for all. So, and I hope you recognize new cool feature we have here is the auto scale. This is like if we have here more big stretched faces, the micro mesh is going to fit to this face in scaling. And if the faces from the source mesh is going smaller, the micro mesh is affected by the size of the face and edges. In this case, it's the edge. So this distance creates our size of the micro mesh, which is very nice. But you see here, it's cool, but not every time that good. It's not realistic in this example, because I think if in medieval times they created chains, the chains are all the same size. So like our addon was working before, without scaling. It was one mesh was the same scale in each direction and in each face. Like here, this was a big issue we had with the older versions of micromesh. So it's realistic, yes, it have the same size everywhere, but in some critical areas like this, it will destroy the effect and we need to adjust so much stuff. So to make a little fake, in this case we can select auto scale and we get much more better results. We now have more clean result and more seamless result. So I think we can look over it, because it's now not realistic, but it gives us a better result. So not many people are recognize it directly. This change is here smaller than here. So I think this is okay. So if I want to show more, we can play with the max scale. We can set it up here. We can select the minimum scale, so we get automatically randomized scaling. And not 10, 1, sorry. And we can play with the values like we want. So sometimes smaller, sometimes bigger, and we get a very nice result. And the next point will be rotation. We have the rotate section here, and we can directly switch it by holding Control in the keyboard and scrolling with the mouse wheel. Sometimes some micro meshes are in different directions. Some micro meshes is looking up, so we can easily switch to the Z axis and go on. But this one works the best in the X axis. We can rotate in by hand, so you see the effect. We can easily adjust it to our needs. We can play with the y-axis, so we create something like this effect if we need. You see? And sometimes we need the z-axis. You see how nice turning we can create here? And if we want to randomize it, just go over here and check it out till you have the desired look. So if this is too much and this is too big and I want to have bigger chains, I go to source mesh and just unsubdivide it. Go again to micro mesh, turn off the randomize and play with the scaling like this. So if we want to change our micro mesh and go back to higher resolution, we just subdivide it again. That easy it is. So we select other kind of chains, perhaps something like that. 48. We drag and drop it to scene 48 and see directly the results. And yes, it looks great. We can play with the Y. It was a bit off with the Y-axis in rotation to achieve this result. This is very nice. So I highly recommend it to use the new update. If we check another like fabric-like micro mesh like this, 32, I just select 32 and use it here. And here we have some limitations. Which limitations we have here? The edges. It creates us not that nice top of flow, so it could not work that nice. So we need to select different distribution points, like corners, faces, perhaps vertex points, but in this case vertex is not that nice. So I think we can use faces and see, it's too low res again. We cannot use this in the correct way we want. So easy going, just select source mesh, subdivide again. Go to micro mesh and play with the scaling till it fit. If we need to rotate it, we can easily rotate it in the x-axis, in the y-axis, if needed of course. And see the main result, like this. Very nice. So what can we test else? A bit of this. 15. And we have very nice micro mesh result. So depending on what we need, of course. We can turn on the source mesh if we need, but in this case we don't need this. Go to edges perhaps, and you see now 80,000 instances. Creates a bit of performance issues, but it's workable in any way. So this is a very nice result. So yes, unsubdivide it one time. Select a completely different mesh, for example, like this. 78. Select it and add this, and we have a very cool looking result. So we have here issues like it's intersecting with our body here. So what can we do? If I select the sweatshirt in full, we can see a very nice sweatshirt. We can go to edit mode, select in face, work in proportional editing, and just scale it here. And you see how nice and seamless the micro mesh scaling is working that way. This creates us new and cool features to achieve very nice results. So if I go again here and we see the scaling here, I make it like that small, you will see the result here. I hope you understand. This is a very nice feature we have. The other point, we can go to sculpt mode. We can select our cloth brush, check out the deformation like drag, grab. So if we grab it and I turn off the mirror here, we can see directly and in real time changing micro meshes, which is amazing. So if we have some cool ideas and make cloth and micro meshes like this, we can use this very easy. So, and if I need more of resolution, go to source mesh, subdivide it, and now we have this result. It is epic. That's why I love Blender. We have so much cool stuff here going on. And of course we can apply it now, but I don't want this mesh. I want a different mesh like this perhaps. Easily I select it. I see the density is too much. Go again to unsubdivide it. Make it to our needs like this. And if I like it, I can play with the scaling again, rotation, with the auto scale. Do we need this or not? Yes, we need this. And what I don't like is the rotation here. And the mesh is not that good. I just select this, just for example. This I like very much. And perhaps can turn it up so it looks cool. Like this. And if you like the result, we save, of course, and go to our interface and micromesh and hit apply. That's it. Nothing more. And of course, we have subdivision here. Do we need this here? No, we don't see any changes. If we turn it in the first, we can see a big improvement in detail, but I don't want this. I just want it like this. Or let's try a different one like this. So we have full control. We can make what we want. Scale up. Test our distribution. Like faces is the best in this case. Scale up and rotate it perhaps here and there. Make this. Check out. No, not this. Again, scale. Let's check. There are some issues here. So what can we do? We can select a different one, or we try to fix this. But in this case, this is only for example. It's only showcase. 102. It's only showcase here. So we see what we can do. Adjust it to our needs. Like if we have this, I like it like this. And it should be here. Oh, that way. Yes, this is cool. And I just hit apply. That's it. Here we have our micro mesh. You see how fast it was. Now we can go in edit mode, but here we need to understand it will be a big separated meshes all the way in one object. We can adjust it, but we don't need. Of course we can try it, but this is what I told before. If we deform this way, this will make very bad performance. You see, it is lagging directly because we have separated meshes here. So I do not recommend it to use it afterwards. Use it on a base mesh like our sweatshirt we have here, and then we can easily go and fix up the rotation and the direction of our micro mesh. So you see, it is very hard in lagging. So no matter how much you have, I do not recommend it. Just go back here and use it only in here. So this is all what we dragged into the scene. So we can hide it or not, or we can use this and make again Re-Topology, a different mesh, remeshing in Blender, whatever you like, and add again micro mesh to it. And then you get these nice results. Now for rendering, it's epic. I can make some modifications if I want, but I don't want. Yes, I'm very happy about this result. So if I had used our base mesh, I can hide it now and go here, select it to our needs and drag it to our needs. And of course, we have here now the issues, and that's why I totally missed to show you. That's why we cannot go back here because of performance. We go just to this mesh and scale it up like this and fix up the issues. So if we select all these parts, yes, in x-axis like this, and go back, we can see very nice results. So what can we do here? Just apply mirror modifier, select some needed extra objects like this, and select this, duplicate and separate them. So we have something like this here. You see, I apply, I remove the solidify, and this one we use for our new micro mesh. Like this. And we see directly some issues here. What is going on? We have big scaled meshes here. So I recommend to use something like that. Fix it up here. Make more details here. So it's up to you how you work. You directly see all the nice stuff in real time. This is what I like it. So of course, again, the same. We go to source mesh, subdivide it, select micro mesh and scale it up. So we have nice result. What happened here? We applied the mirror modifier, so that's why here nothing changed. But don't worry, it's only showcase. So if I want to make again stuff like this, we have 101, 102. So we select different 102, I think it was. We create this very fast. Can use turn off auto scale and check again. So perhaps a different one, 101. Yes, it's better. Like this. And what we do now is we go to the side view and turn it in our Y axis. You see this? Very nice. And X perhaps, do we need X? I don't know. Good, but we don't need. And what now is cool, we randomize it a bit. So we can create nice, realistic looking result. Then scale it a bit and we have epic result. Very fast. We don't need the source mesh, so it's directly here, if needed, of course. And you see how nice we can work here. And the last part, we check our cloth here. It's very nice done. So I apply it, remove the solidify and remove the subdivision and check out again. Yes, it's very nice mesh. Just easy add. Select micro mesh, scale it up, select the distribution perhaps here. And here we can change the distribution, of course, too. So depending what we need here. But I think this is nice, cool. This side is cool, but it's too much in edges. I think this is enough. But for our code, we can use edges. Yes, edges. Scale it up. Now we have big chains here. And what can we select here is like this. 106. Easy going. Wow. I'm impressed by myself because it works. It works like we want. And this is amazing. I like the result very much. So we can adjust it like this to achieve better seamless feeling here. And if you see something like that, what can you do? You just go to sculpt mode. And we have here relax. I thought it was relax brush. You can relax the topology. It was not slight relax. It was more like, perhaps it was smooth. Yes, you can smooth it out till your needs. I think it was, or pinch in here and there. I think depending on what you need, you can adjust it here directly. This is so amazing. Yes, you can. Yes, we make this a bit smaller. Here you can adjust it. This is so nice. I am so impressed about Blender and which possibilities we have. Just play with the scaling again. Now we have a big, nice chain code like dress, perhaps 108. Hey, we are in sculpt mode. Yes, 108, 108. Hey, like this. Check out the rotation. Something. This would be nice. Not edges, but faces. Yes. Hey, it's too low res. Let's go and subdivide it. Very easy. And here, if we select the mid-range scale like this, go back to sculpt mode and use the relax. Perhaps mesh filter have great inflate, smooth, random, relax. There it is. Relax facets, smooth surface. No, relax. There it is. You see? Now we can create very nice. Perhaps back to the origin. Random. What is? We are now free to add epic looking designs. So I do not need the source mesh anymore. Now we have randomization here. We can all use this sphere. No, we don't need this. Sharpen. So we see we have so much possibilities now. And this is a very big improvement for Simply Micromesh. And thanks to Blender development team for each new version they deliver for us, we can use all these nice features and work on it and make our art better and better. So we see here clean, very nice result. Too much randomization here, but hey, don't worry. It's just a showcase. It's just showing how the new features works. And of course, if you like it, we apply. If we don't like it, we remove. That's it. So I hope you will have much fun with the new add-on update. And yes, I wish you the best and only the best.